Hi everyone, are you ready for a mildly better drawing tutorial? Okay, we're gonna explore Boolean operations, union, subtract, intersect, exclude. It's very like the Pathfinder in Adobe Illustrator, but here in Figma it has some really cool perks. Let me show you what they do and what the perks are. Yes, we make a house on fire icon. Anyway, it shows all the different Boolean operations. It seemed like a good idea. That's why it's there. So in the last couple of videos, we did some actual drawing, okay, using shapes, pen tool, okay, and that's one way of drawing your icons and, I don't know, UI components. Page furniture is another good word for them. Okay, things that are on the page. We're going to use what's called a Boolean operation. It's a bad name, I don't like that name, okay, but basically these are the way these Booleans work. So let's create a couple of things. I'm going to go to the rectangle tool. Okay, I'll draw the base of my house. I'm going to use the polygon tool to draw the top of it. I'm going to select both of them and say center them and make them like that. Good enough for me. Okay, I'm going to select both of them and I need to pick them to be a nice color just because. Okay, so union, what does it do? Okay, because if I made this and that was my house icon, okay, I'd be like, yep, there's my house. That's all I need to do. Problem is when I export this, it'll export two shapes. Okay, so I'll send this off to my developer and he'll be like, why have you sent me a triangle and a square? We'll do exporting later in the course, but that's a problem. So what you need to do to combine these or to union them is to select both of them. Okay, you can have a bunch of different shapes. It doesn't have to be just two. Okay, and this thing appears. Okay, so without it, not there. One of them, not there. Two of them, this thing appears. Our Booleans. Okay, so drop this down and we're going to start with union. You're like, look at that, kind of smushed it together. It got rid of the, the two shapes and now it's one. It's called union. Now we can call this one, I'll call it union because we're trying to get used to the names, but this is my house icon. And when I export it, it's going to be one unit. The cool thing about it though is that it's always editable. It's magic. Okay, so I can double click it to go inside and look, it's separate. Okay, but when it exports, it's one unit. So that's really handy. You've still got things like I can play around with the border radius. It's my Smurf house. Okay, so come back out and that's the thing that gets exported. So that's what union does. I'm going to undo, actually, I'm going to copy it, undo it until this goes away because what I should have done is made a few different copies. So there we go. This one, Command D, Control D. And I'm going to paste my next one back in. So subtract, let's just go through them real quick. So subtract does that. Okay, whoever's on the top subtracts the bottom. So I drew this thing last, so it's on top. I can kind of see, there it is, rectangle, or is it rectangle bottom? And the top of it. So that is on top of my rectangle. If I switch it around, okay, if I say U, rectangle are on top, I'm going to use my square bracket over by the P key. So I know it's on top of everything and I select them both, do the exact same thing. Okay, subtract, get a different operation. Okay, so whoever's on top will slice out the one behind. Okay, intersect, let's do that one. Intersect, it's kind of whatever's left over. Where they overlap, that's what you got left. Exclude, okay, this one's going to leave a big hole where they overlap. So you end up, they're kind of their opposites, intersect, exclude. All right, that's all very fancy, but you're like, how does it work in, it's going to give you a bit more of a practical exercise. I thought this was clever, you might not. Okay, so you can keep adding to it. So let's add rectangle tool, draw out our chimney. If it's a different color, look what happens. If I go to union, you can actually, that's the default one. You just click the icon. Okay, whatever the top one is, it'll still smush down, but it'll use the top color. Okay, so union, you can keep unioning things. Let's move it across now. So subtract. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my rectangle tool. I'm going to drag it out here for my door. And because I can go back to my selection tool and zoom in a little bit so I can see my dots, I can go like this. And then go to these two and use the exact same thing, subtract. Cool, huh? Look how fancy I am. Okay, this one here, I want a house. This one, I want the house to be on fire. Because I do. Okay, this exercise, it was kind of clever. So I've got an ellipse. I'm going to draw out an ellipse. I'm going to have two of them. And I want to use this one here, the intersect. Okay, so it's a little bit hard to see them. Okay, so I'm going to go, how do I see outline view? Do you remember that? Do you remember Command Y on a Mac, Control Y on a PC, or you can use that other shortcut. The one shortcut to rule them all, Command / just type outline. There it is, show outlines. Okay, what I'm looking for is the bit in between to look kind of like a flame. I'm looking for this bit. Okay, so I want to grab both of these. I'm going to go back out of outline view and use that intersect. This is my little flamey thing. Look at that. It should just be coming out of here. I'm not sure why the whole thing had to be on fire. All right, the last one. Like, how could this get any cleverer? Well, we're going to need some windows, aren't we? So the O key for the circle tool, hold down shift. I'm going to do like terrible windows. Can't really see them. They're there. Go to outline view again. Oh, it's getting messy. Okay, outline view is not that helpful this way. Why are all these circles here? Well, we'll deal with that in a second, actually. Let's finish Daniel's cleverness. I'm going to select all of these. You could change the colors just to be good. Okay, but select them both and go up to here and use the last one. Let's go exclude. Hey, we've got our house with holes in it. I can stick them all together and I can say union. So now that is one little unit that'll get exported for our terrible house by the seaside. Those are nautical. That is on fire. Great icon. Now the big thing, I kind of explained at the beginning that they were still separate, but all of these are still separate as well. That's why if I move him just down over here and go to outline view, you can see there's still lots of stuff in here. You might go, actually that door there, okay, I'm going to actually come out of this. This door here needs to be different. The runner corners are terrible. So you can go into it. I can say, where is it? The exclude one. It's a little bit deep in here. Okay, but I can say that rectangle there has rounded corners of like 2 now. So it's not so weird. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Totally fixed it. Okay, but you can double click stuff, keep double clicking and go, oh, look at that. It's still excluded, okay, it's still a hole in it, but it's all still editable. That's why these Boolean things are really cool. It's like the Pathfinder if you are from Illustrator land, or maybe the shape builder, that's quite useful as well. All right, that is gonna be it for these ones. Yeah, let's get on to the next video. It was good in my notes, flaming house icon. Anyway, next video.